With global fuel supplies disrupted, Tánaiste Simon Harris says the government will work over the weekend on measures to address the price rises at petrol pumps and alleviate fuel poverty. However, Sinn Féin says government intervention is long overdue and there should be no half measures.
Fuel prices continue to rise as the government finalises the details of a package of measures to help those affected. These will be announced next Tuesday after being agreed at Cabinet. Tánaiste Simon Harris today stressed that any intervention would be temporary, with 3 areas under consideration.
How we can assist people at the pump, where the price of petrol and diesel has literally gone through the roof. How we can assist those most in need, those most acutely at risk of fuel poverty. And thirdly, how we can assist core parts of our economy, including the haulage sector, which is so vital.
But for the opposition, the government moves are long overdue, as the repercussions of the month-long war in the Middle East play out.
We're 4 weeks into this crisis and households are really struggling, and for 4 weeks the government haven't lifted a finger to help. It's clear still that they don't know what they're going to do. We've been urging them to act and act quickly. We don't want half measures.
Any excise cut would come in as soon as Tuesday night, following a vote in the Dáil. It's clear now that a 3-pronged approach is being taken by the government, with an excise cut at the fuel pumps for all motorists, extra help on the fuel allowance for the most vulnerable, and an additional measure for hauliers. Sandra Hurley, RTÉ News, Leinster House.
Well, the price of diesel at the pumps has hit around €2.20 in many locations. Our Consumer Affairs correspondent Angus Cox joins me now. Angus, this is another significant rise in prices since yesterday.
That's right, Sharon. Forecourt retailers warned yesterday that petrol and diesel prices would rise again in the coming days. That's already materialising at the pumps. The price of diesel up by 6 cents in the last 24 hours to around €2.20 a litre in many places, including here at Maxwell and Sandyford. Reports of higher prices in some areas. Petrol also up at around the €2 mark. So significant spikes. And don't forget home heating oil. That's nearly doubled in price in recent weeks. And on Tuesday, the government will announce plans to insulate consumers somewhat in relation to these spikes. It's looking like we'll see a reduction in fuel excise duty. 4 years ago, we saw something similar in response to the Ukraine war. The reduction on excise duty then was around 20 cents a litre. Shortly, we'll discuss this with Kevin McPartland from Fuels for Ireland. But first, I've been getting reaction from motorists here in Sandyford to higher fuel prices.
It used to be just maybe €60, but now today it's 73 to fill it up. So I didn't think it should be going up just yet, because I'm sure they've already had petrol and diesel and everything.
Well, my husband has an electric car and I'm planning on taking that now as much as I can.
Definitely it will make me think, are there other options? Maybe if we're changing the car, what other options are there, and cost and that. So maybe the government might push the grants for battery cars and such like that.
Sure, like the wages aren't going up, the cost of fuel is going up, like it's going to make it more and more difficult per week. Like
we were talking about 3 weeks ago, it was 170, 171, and today you can see the prices in most places now it's up to 220, 221. It's just ridiculous or whatever, and it's really costing us, like we're on the road every day. So what can I say? Thanks very much, Mr. Trump.
You get a sense there of what motorists make of it all. I'm now joined by Kevin McPartland, Chief Executive of Fuels for Ireland, which represents retailers across the country. Kevin, thanks very much for joining us. The sense is we're going to have a short-term cut on excise duty. Would your members be passing any reduction on to motorists as soon as it is in place?
Well, it will absolutely be passed on as soon as is possible. Well, what that means is that the fuel which is on the forecourt at the time that any excise duty is cut still is subject to the previous excise duty regime. So it's only fuel that is delivered after that point. And we've been telling people for the last number of weeks that some forecourts get many deliveries a day, some get a delivery only every few days. So it will take a couple of days to see that excise duty cut wash all the way through the system, but you will see some forecourts will see it almost immediately within a few hours of the excise duty cut.
So just to be clear, if the government does announce something on Tuesday that comes into effect from midnight, it could be maybe the weekend possibly then before consumers feel the benefit of that?
In some remote, smaller garages, that could be the case. In the very large, busy garages, places like this, where you will have very regular deliveries, it will be quite quick. But we just have to understand that not every garage is in the same sort of pattern of logistical delivery.
There is some criticism of forecourt retailers when wholesale prices go up. They're quick to increase pump prices. When it's a reduction, motorists wait longer for that to be passed on. Is the scenario you're explaining not perhaps perpetuating that idea?
Well, that is a criticism, but it's not a valid one, because if you actually look at the data, the commodity prices are published every day, and you can see them rising, and you can see, if you map the retail prices in Ireland, they map almost exactly. In fact, you will find that we have actually not passed on all of the additional cost. In the last 48 hours, I was just looking before we came on air, in the last 48 hours, diesel wholesale prices have gone up by about 15 cents a litre. That's before you add all the taxes on. That's the level of price impact that we're experiencing on a commodity level.
OK, Kevin McPartland, Chief Executive of Fuels for Ireland, thank you very much for joining us. That's all we have for you for the moment, so it's back to you in studio.
Well, staying with that story, and we're joined now by the Tánaiste and Minister for Finance, Simon Harris. Thanks for coming in to speak to us on 6-1. A lot of people anxiously filling their petrol tanks, getting kerosene for their home heating oil, and worrying that the price of their groceries are going to be going up again. They hear you're going to do something next Tuesday. What is it?
So we're going to finalise this plan over the weekend, Sharon, and we're working across government to get this right. We're very clear, though, we're going to need to do something to help people with the cost of the pumps, with petrol and diesel. We're going to have to do something to help those most in need, those most vulnerable to things like fuel poverty. And we're going to need to take action to try and help key parts of the Irish economy. Particularly, I'm thinking of the hauliers at the moment, who are so important to our supply chains.
OK, well, let's talk about the pumps first.
Sure.
So you can reduce excise and VAT. Is that what you're looking at doing?
So we'll make the announcement on Tuesday, but to be blunt, excise is probably the most effective way we've used in the past to alleviate some pressure. It can be done quickly, it can be passed on quickly, and it has been done in the past.
And how long would you do it for?
So this, and I don't want anyone to misunderstand me in relation to this, I think any measures we take in the first instance should be for the short term. And the reason I say that is, 21 days ago we were in a very different place in the world. It is impossible to predict where things will be in 6 days, 6 weeks, let alone 6 months. I think we have to put in place measures that are effective and help people here and now, but give ourselves the flexibility as a country to respond, to change, to revise measures should the situation change, because Mystic Meg herself and her descendants can't predict yet the full economic impact. This is a moment of real existential economic challenge globally, and we have to be nimble in our response.
OK, so when you say short term, are you talking for a number of months?
Well, we'll decide that as a collective, but as the Minister for Finance in this country, I'd be strongly advising colleagues that we do this in the first instance for a short period. I'm not fixated on that length of time. It may well be that we have to extend that, that's okay. But it may equally be that the situation drastically changes, maybe even improves, de-escalates. I accept that doesn't look likely. Or indeed that the challenge gets deeper and there's different areas of the economy that
You're talking about targeted measures as well then on fuel for people who may find themselves in fuel poverty. So you're not looking at any kind of universal credits?
At the moment, I think the best way to help people is at the pump in terms of more generally, and I think targeting those most at risk in terms of energy in their homes. It may be, though, as we get through the course of this year, we'll have to look at different measures. Energy credits require primary legislation that take longer. I think the most effective way to help people is those 3 ways that I've outlined in the first instance.
OK, but as you say, even if this war were to end tomorrow, you have gas infrastructure in the Middle East that has been damaged. It's going to take a while to fix that. So gas prices are going to go up later this year. So are you expecting to have to introduce further measures? And I know it's only March, but it will be your first budget.
Sure.
Is that to the fore of your mind?
Yes, it's to the fore of my mind that every day this conflict goes on, the longer the economic impact and the longer the economic damage to the world is, and Ireland isn't immune from that. But I do want to say this to reassure people this Friday evening. We are approaching this from a position of relative economic strength. We often get criticised for running budget surpluses. This is the reason you do that, so that you can respond if there is a shock, so you can respond if there's an energy shock. So I'd rather be in our position with surpluses, with an ability to respond, with an ability to take action, than a country running a deficit. So we will get through this together.
Some other countries like the UK and Portugal have decided to cap electricity bills. Now, we have some of the highest electricity in the EU, and also we have 300,000 plus households in arrears. So is that something you might consider doing later in the year?
We don't rule anything out at this stage because, and I need viewers to know that, that's the level of existential economic challenge the world faces. So we can't rule anything out at the moment. What we have done, though, is expand the fuel allowance to 50,000 more people in the last week. So there's 50,000 more households benefiting from fuel allowance this week who didn't qualify last week. We have increased the fuel allowance and we will look at specific measures. You mentioned people in arrears, specific measures to help those most in need next week.
All right. And if we look towards the bigger picture in all of this, the International Energy Agency said today that the scale of disruption to supplies is being underestimated. Is there a real fear among leaders now? We know they were meeting in Brussels yesterday that the EU could be heading towards a recession.
Well, I certainly think the longer this goes on, the more we're going to see an impact on economic growth. And yes, I think we cannot rule out a major global economic shock. It can't be overstated, the scale of this economic challenge. This is very different to where we were even a number of days ago, for the reasons you mentioned. The conflict is going on longer, it's getting deeper, and crucially, there's significant damage being carried out to energy infrastructure. So the best economic medicine right now is de-escalation. Stop damaging, stop targeting energy supplies. And of course, the big step we all need to take in Europe and in Ireland is to wean ourselves off our reliance on energy from other parts of the world. And we've got to accelerate our energy independence in both Ireland and Europe.
That, of course, won't happen by next Tuesday. But
No.
Minister for Finance and Tánaiste Simon Harris, thanks for coming in to speak to us on 6 1.